The portion of Pinchas this week's reading, we read about a man by the name of Pinchas who becomes a hero in an instant. The Jewish people are fallen to immoral behavior, which results in a terrible plague that's ravaging the community and destroys many thousands of Jews. A man by the name of Zimri approaches Moses and challenges him. He comes up there with a Midianite woman and says to Moshe, I want to marry her, I want to be with her. Why am I not allowed? And he actually does the act in public. Pinchas sees this, he can't tolerate it. He runs over to Moses, we got to do something. Moshe says, go ahead and do. And he takes a spear, he stabs them both and kills them on the spot. The Torah opens up with the portion this week and says that God rewarded Pinchas. He gives him what we would call today the first peace prize. I give him the covenant of peace. He's a man of peace, says the Torah. But let's be honest, for us, I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, would probably not recommend your children to act the way Pinchas did. It's an act of zealotry. Usually we don't like zealots. So what do we learn from Pinchas if we're not going to act, if we don't really encourage that behavior? Today, if you see someone doing a sin, it's coming from ignorance. It's not the approach that you have to that person is hardly with a harsh word, certainly not any harsh action. Love, reaching out, loving that person, in words of encouragement, show him the beauty of Shabbat, educate that person. He has not grown up with it, he doesn't know it, he or she doesn't know it. When you reach out with love and you teach a person the beauty of Shabbat, the beauty of prayer, the beauty of Judaism, without a doubt they'll embrace it. So if we're not going to emulate the actions of Pinchas, what then could we learn from Pinchas? The answer, my friends, is what Pinchas teaches us is that there are moments in our life that we say, up to this point, this is a red line we cannot cross. That's what happened with Pinchas. He saw something that was so outrageous, such a desecration of every norm of God's name, of course, and he took action. So whether or not we're going to take action the way Pinchas did, probably not, and we shouldn't. However, our moral indignation sometimes has to be aroused. Sometimes we have to say to ourselves and to the people around us, this is not okay. Even in a generation where everything is okay, there are some things that are not. And that's the question we have to ask ourselves. What is our red line? When do we stand up and say, this cannot stand? Here I'm going to be very vocal. I'm going to take a stand. Yes, the Mishnah says that there's no better medicine for a person than silence, but sometimes silence is a sin. There are moments when something so extraordinary happens that we must stand up. The question is what that is. What moves you to the point where your passion is overwhelmed? What moves you to the point where you say, this I cannot tolerate? For some it may be intermarriage, for some it may be eating on Yom Kippur, for others it may be Jerusalem, for others it may be theft and dishonesty. Every person is different. But if nothing moves you, then it's time for you to start learning the portion of Pinchas. Certain things must move us. Shabbat Shalom. All the best.